What is going on, guys? Welcome to GregglesMania, your source for wrestling news and rumors. Let's get into today's episode. The first story of the day is Goldberg's promo last night on SmackDown was not scripted. And that's coming directly from the Wrestling Observer. And that's pretty big news, I guess. I didn't know it. And I wouldn't expect he would want to not be scripted, just because he's never, at least I feel like, really been very strong on the microphone. And he did okay. I watched it, and again, it's just okay. I felt like he might fall off the rails, but he didn't for the most part. It was fairly clean. It was to the point. It was short. It was sweet, and it had some power behind it. So I think overall I did a good job, and I'd love to see more of that to give more wrestlers, especially in WWE, more freedom with their promo. This is definitely the biggest story of the day. The 24/7 title changed hands on the airport tarmac when Jinder Mahal came out of nowhere to pin R-Truth 1, 2, 3 with a roll up, and then ran on the plane. Now they're obviously headed over, or they were at the point of this recording, headed over to Saudi Arabia for their big show tomorrow, which will be, again, they say as big as WrestleMania. And the card, if you didn't know it, is the following. So you'll have Triple H versus Randy Orton. Next up would be the 50-man Battle Royal. Goldberg versus Undertaker. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. Finn Balor versus Andrade for the Intercontinental Championship. Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon in a singles match. Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE Championship. Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin for the Universal Championship. Lars Sullivan versus Lucha House Party in a 3-on-1 handicap match. And then lastly, the Usos versus the Revival in a tag team matchup. And the last story of the day is from Ryback. He was doing a podcast, his own podcast, where he's interviewing the owner of Wrestling Inc., Raj Giri. Hopefully I said it correct. And anyways, he talked about wrestler payoffs, and it's very, very interesting. First, he was talking about merch. He said the thing is, a $30 t-shirt they are selling, you're making $1 or under $1 a shirt, somewhere in that vicinity. He also went on to say that his first WrestleMania match against Mark Henry, he was paid $70,000 to $74,000 in that range, just for which by far was his highest payday for a single wrestling match. He said, I just remember I was in the main event right off the bat, and my paydays were what I considered anyway to be great, but I had nothing to compare it to. Then next year in the tag with Ryback, first WrestleMania on the network, because the previous one was not where he got that payday. He said he made about $35,000. It was my lowest pay-per-view pay of the year, and I was never told why. So a huge drop off from, being basically one of the main events at WrestleMania to being, on the lower end of the card. The next one, even though it's pay-per-view versus the network. So, I mean, basically the rumor is that WWE is supposedly paying the wrestlers their payouts the same on the network versus they were on pay-per-view. He's kind of saying it's not like that. He's also saying that the t-shirt sales, merch sales, isn't really anything to write home about. But man, imagine getting a $74,000 check just for one single match. Pretty crazy. It's a huge amount still. Even $35,000, I'll take that as well. Let me know in the comments down below if you think the wrestlers are getting ripped off with their network payoffs in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.